Are you keenly aware of God's presence in your life? Welcome to the Daily Devo. I am Vince Miller. This week, we're reading through 1 Samuel chapter 7. I've titled this chapter, Stand Up and Make a Declaration. So we begin this week with chapter 7, verse 1, short verse, but very potent. It reads, "And the men of Kiriath-jearim came and took up the ark of the Lord and brought it to the house of Abinadab on the hill. And they consecrated his son Eleazar to have charge of the ark of the Lord." So as we catch up with verse 1 here, I think it's kind of important as it relates to the text to recall or trace back the journey of the Ark of God so we can see how we got to this point. So first, a couple of chapters ago, the Ark of God was actually in Shiloh. That's where it was supposed to be, in the Tabernacle, inside of the Holy of Holies. But the wicked, ruthless sons of Eli removed the Ark of God, brought it into battle, tried to use God like a good luck charm, and, well, they lost tragically to the Philistines, and they died. Then the Philistines take it, capture it, assuming a victory over God. But then God strikes them with some plagues and a really burning, itching case of hemorrhoids that follows them from town to town as they move the Ark of God. In fact, finally, they just want to be rid of it. Then it ends up back in Israelite territory in a town called Beth-Shemesh. Here, the priests meet it, begin to celebrate, but inappropriately handle it, and God strikes 70 of them dead, which could have been the whole lot of the priests that were living in that town. And now the Philistines and the Israelites both are frightened of God and both frightened of the Ark of God, and they're unsure of what to do with it. And that brings us to verse 1 in chapter 7. Israel had to decide what to do with the Ark of God. And they don't take it back to Shiloh, which is pretty close and quite interesting that they don't do it. And we're not exactly told why. Scripture's silent on this, but there could have been a lot of reasons, one of which might be the desecration of the tabernacle by Eli's sons. But anyway, they take it about 15 miles up the road to Abinadab's house, who was one of the remaining priests, and they consecrate his son, Eleazar. So they finally just keep the Ark of God in their house for a lot of years, as you're going to see tomorrow. But here's the thought for you today. Imagine just for a moment that tomorrow you open your door and there sits the Ark of God. It just appears at your doorstep and you're supposed to keep it at your house for a couple of decades. All right, just imagine that for a second. If that happened to you, I want you to think about how your thoughts and your attitudes and your actions would change. I mean, think about that just for a second. I bet the way you lead would change. I bet the way you treat your wife would change and your kids would change. I bet the words that you use or choose would change. I also assume that the things you watch on TV and the thoughts and attitudes that you have would change as well. But no, that what I'm talking about right now is not a hypothetical thought. It's an actual thought. You see, God's presence is not confined to a box any longer. His Spirit lives within every believer. The power of our holy God is with us wherever we go. We are a temple of the Holy Spirit. So if that's the case, we should live each and every moment of every day with a healthy awareness of holy reverence and maybe some divine dread in us, consecrating every thought and attitude and action. So dwell on that today and then go live like it. I love you guys. I pray this has blessed you. If it has, share it with someone else, and I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.